Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to the second Truth is live event. How you guys doing today? Are you guys doing good today?
Yeah, we doing good. How you doing, man?
We're doing real good today. We're gonna have a very interesting live event today. We have a couple of interesting topics that we're gonna be getting into, and we're gonna also be getting into you guys' questions like we did last time. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. The first thing we're gonna be talking about today is Drake.
Mm.
Taco, make sure you run the Drake. I was looking into Drake after I saw this right here of this young woman who she actually is she works for the industry. She's an industry makeup artist. And according to her, she's basically saying what we've been saying about Drake for the longest. She's saying that Drake is a Masonic puppet, that Drake is down with these people, and that she said some very interesting stuff. Taco, roll the clip, please.
American dream is working hard, creating a family and building from ground up and giving back and spreading light and love. It is not um, that have never cheap, but they sell their soul and now they're getting played by the strings like puppets. To mind control society. That is not the American dream. I'm sorry to inform you. So shout out to everyone doing right. And if you have a problem with me exposing your fades that could not beat me in a test of intelligence, I mean, hey, that's your business, not mine. And nobody is gonna check me because everybody and their mama know my mouth is too smart and it's too quick and my mind is too sharp. And I will flip the script on you quick. I'm a tax-paying, hard-working citizen with accolades. They're not. They're not. They're fuckers. Remember how Wayfair was selling the things with the names of the kids? There are millions of kids being trafficked each year, and the elite are using them in rituals, using their blood. They are using them for entertainment. They have Hunger Games that they do, where they send kids into the woods. They have kids do things to each other that they shouldn't be doing. They have kids doing things with animals. This is what the inside source of the Illuminati told me. And she's seen it. She's seen it happen. I had to change the subject because it is just a hard truth for a passionate mother like myself. I mean, I'm in my right mind to go find them. She's given me names of people I've been around, people whose house I've been to, people who have been to my house, people who have been around my son, who know that these things are happening and who even participate in them, y'all. I couldn't tell you. Man, I couldn't tell you guys what the emotion is that I'm feeling. It's past anger. It is best I stay in my house because if I ever see any one of these people, I'm going straight to jail. I'm not dealing with a certified lover boy. I'm dealing with a certified narcissist, sociopathic, murderous, psycho.
Wow. When I saw this, I had to double check if she was really who she claimed she was, if she was really a part of the industry. And according to what I'm seeing, she is. She's a makeup artist. She has a verified Instagram account with 300,000 followers. She's definitely a part of the industry for sure. And I don't know why she's coming at Drake. I don't know what exactly happened that made her want to come at Drake. But what she's saying, we should already know that it's pretty much going on. And then like Drake, there's a reason Drake is one of the top artists. There's a reason. It's not because he makes great music. It has nothing to do with that. Drake is an actor. Drake was made for this. Drake was created for this. He was built up from childhood to be this character, to be this person. And he's able to play so many different roles. He's able to do what the industry needs him to do. He's the perfect puppet. You understand? This is why he's incorporated the owl with his logo. He's incorporated the highest levels of occultism, the highest levels of secret societies within his own record label, his own music brand. The OVO logo is the owl, and we know what the owl represents. We've already spoken about it, and we know that they worship that owl in the Bohemian Grove. You know, that's not a coincidence that Drake just happens to be the elite of artists, and then he has this owl that represents him. You understand? That it shows, and then he calls himself the Sixth God and all this stuff. You know, now we have this woman here. She is claiming that because she's exposing Drake and saying that to Drake, that Drake has been throwing shots at her on his Instagram. Basically what he did with Triple X Tentacion. You know, we've spoken about the whole Triple X Tentacion situation in the last live stream. We've spoken about it in several videos. And it's apparent that either Drake did it, or Drake had something to do with it, or Drake wants people to think he has something to do with it. But for sure, he's throwing these shots out there. We saw it with the video, the Sicko Mode video. We saw it with the lyrics of multiple of his songs. His own fans are pointing the lyrics out at this point. His own fans, they feel that Drake is taunting X. I want to ask you guys in the live, what do you guys feel about this? I want you to tell me in the live right now. I want to see, what do you guys feel about Drake? Do you think Drake had anything to do with X?
100%.
That was no sheep, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. And I see a lot of people saying, "Yep, of course, absolutely."
Yeah, I feel like Drake is Jewish. He definitely has ties inside the industry.
Definitely. It is. We have to remember that Drake, not only about his religious or race or anything, but just a position. Because even when we're talking about Jay-Z has been given that position, but just like Drake, he incorporated the occult symbolism within his ties, you understand, within his logo, within his brand. He's incorporated it with all of it. If you look at Jay-Z's Rock Nation and all that, right? It's the same thing with Drake's OVO. Jay-Z's Rock Nation symbol is the Masonic all-seeing eye. Drake's OVO symbol is the Masonic owl, the owl of Moloch. It all shows that the people that are representing the industry are being chosen, and they're being given this position. They're being brought up. And this woman here, everything she said, I believe that why would she risk her position in the industry to come out and say that? You understand? Why would she go out of nowhere and risk losing all her high profile clients, all those people that she works with, that's in the industry, that's paying her bills, that's making her millions of dollars? Because think about it. Her talking about Drake and exposing Drake for this is going to definitely have an effect overall. People are going to be affected by this overall. You understand? Like, no one's going to say, oh, yeah, she's coming at Drake, we're going to stay quiet. No, everyone's going to cut her off. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not like she's saying anything crazy or far-fetched. She's just adding another celebrity to the list. And we already know Drake is playing the game. He is pushing the agenda that they want to be pushed. And he is definitely playing their game, because otherwise there'd be no reason that he has lasted so long and that he has the status that he has. He is a big artist still to this day. Drake is a huge artist.
Yeah, a huge artist is an understatement. Drake has passed every single record out. He's their golden child. And I'm telling you, it goes back to the fact that he is chosen. He was chosen a long time ago. They chose him within the industry. People like Jay Prince had an involvement in his career. Lil Wayne had an involvement. Birdman. These are the people that brought this kid into the game. And they brought him in young. Drake, believe it or not, he was already in Hollywood since a child. He did the Degrassi. You understand? All those years, you think they weren't prepping him for this? He was definitely being prepped on how the industry works. His father was already in the industry. He comes from this.
Think about how many artists have said that, they started their career and they got to a point where they decided to leave because it ended up where they had to take a really further step to get somewhere big where Drake has gotten. So you've already seen celebrities say that they've been put up against the wall to choose. It's either choose good morals or choose bad morals. And obviously Drake has done stuff because there's no reason that he would still be around, still be relevant.
Definitely.
Yeah. Makes
Go
me
ahead.
wonder what he did too. Like, maybe like way back then he must have did something. Like he must have shown that he was really willing to be as sick or as sinister as they
I
need
feel
him to
like
be.
as he got older, as Drake got older, and he still talked about the same old shoot 'em. He got older and started talking about shoot 'em up, bang bang. They like enjoyed that, so they pushed him further. Like he's supposed to be mature at this point. He's supposed to be on the whole different topic, a whole different wave, and
I agree.
he reverted to the bang bang and.
I agree with you. And you have a great point. And it's because they're showing alliance against, right? Showing alliance, right? Drake did that because Drake is a chameleon. You understand? Drake is an actor. Like I said, we have to remember that. Drake had a choice. He could have done exactly what you just said, like Jay-Z. He could have evolved, but is that Jay-Z is not to the stature of level of an artist as Drake. Because remember, the reason these people are there is not because they only sold their soul or chose to be a cultist, is because they actually are talented. Drake is talented. It'll be a lie for us to say that Drake isn't talented. He has a great cadence. He has a great voice. He makes great music. That's what Drake does. He is being used to push an agenda because he sold himself to the highest bidder. But I believe with Drake, it's more of a family thing. He was already, like I said, indoctrinated in it. But that's how it is for most artists. They'll sell their talents to the devil, and the devil uses them to manipulate and destroy. That's exactly what we see when we come to Drizzy. Drizzy he manipulates and he manages to stay alive through generations and generations. Drake should have been got out of here. He's from 2010. He's from before 2010, and we still got Drake pumping hits to this day. Why? Because Drake is a chameleon. He's always been an actor. He's always been the type that whatever's relevant, whatever's hot, he's going to mimic. He's going to get himself involved. And that's what happened with Triple X Tentacion. Triple X Tentacion is not here because Drake tried to steal his swag, steal what he got, steal his energy. And it always reminds me of the American Horror Story series with the Supremes and the witches. I watched that series, and this situation always reminded me of that, of how like the Supreme had to get rid of the next one that was going to be Supreme so that she wouldn't lose her power. That's exactly what I see with Drake. I feel like Drake is trying to get rid of any competition, anyone that's in his way. He's either trying to like steal what they got going on, like he did with basically every artist. With the McConan kid, he jumped on a song with him, signed him. He took all the clout that record would have gave McConan. He took it for himself. You understand? He did basically what he did with 21 Savage just now. Drake was falling off. He dropped a project that wasn't what he expected. So he got someone who has some type of relevance, some type of importance in the culture now, which is 21 Savage, and he put him on a project. Drake didn't do that for 21 Savage. Drake did that for himself because Drake is a chameleon. He's gonna do as best as he can to fit in, to match whatever's going on, to take, and he did that to X. X didn't like that. X tried to defend himself, and we saw what happened to X. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think any other artist would do what X did. I think most artists, when Drake come on and Drake starts, giving them an opportunity, they take it because either way, that's Drake, but X didn't like that. X saw it as Drake trying to steal from him and trying to take him, trying to take his spot or stop him from being able to shine. And him trying to stick up for himself kind of cost him, and we see like people say, oh, why would Drake have any reason to do anything to X? Well, there's a lot of reasons to want to do something to someone that's constantly disrespecting your mom, constantly disrespecting him as an artist, saying that he stole him. He's basically trying to destroy his legacy. You get my point? So that's really what I see with Drake. And then going back to the whole what this woman is saying, she's claiming that Drake is sending shots at her and all this. And this is exactly what Drake does. Drake is known for this. Drake is known for throwing out subs. He does it in his music. He does it on his post, like we just spoke about in the last live stream. in that Father's Day post. Some people didn't really get what I was trying to point at, but you got to understand, Drake bringing up Father's Day in March, there's no reason, there's no context for it. He just did it because he saw that Father's Day is the same day that Triple X Tentacion passed. He also knows that he's in a court, situation, and that's where he got attention on. So he's doing that, throwing shots. That's what Drake does. And he's not going to see any consequences for it because he's one of the big guys. Well, I want to move on now. Let's move on to the next subject. The next thing I wanted to talk about was actually Chris Brown. I was on Instagram and I saw some interesting imagery coming from Chris Brown. I saw this clip of him performing, and I've done a dark truth on Chris Brown in the past, but the amount of open imagery coming from this performance alone, it starts with this. He's, this is one of the clips of it. He's in front of the pyramid. It's bright light behind them, and we have like the whole AI theme thing going on. Like, he's definitely, you can see exactly what he's aiming for with this. But then in another clip, which is going to play in a second, we see this right here. And this is even more interesting because it shows Chris Brown doing all these dance moves, and then he transforms, and we see him like this demon thing. And then you see the eye pop out of the hand, showing exactly what they represent. You understand? This is exactly what these people are into. And they show it to us time and time again. Now, they show us, and then they show AI. They show this woman, this AI woman, and even the way that they bring Chris Brown into this performance, it's crazy. And then I kept searching, and I found something else on Chris Brown, which was even more interesting. It's a video interview of Chris Brown talking, and he claims that he's an alien. Taco, can you roll that clip for me, please? I don't got no audio from the clip. I still got no audio. What's going on?
Think alien eyes and outer space and all that stuff, but really feel Chris Brown, he believes in UFOs.
It was playing that time.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Do you think you ever been abducted?
Nah.
You think you ever seen anything that look different? Why do you leave?
Because I'm an alien. Because I'm an alien.
Explain.
I can't
Do
explain.
do you feel like, and I don't mean, sometimes people think alien eyes and outer space and all that stuff, but really feel like you're not of the planet?
I'm an alien.
Well, you know what?
Extraterrestrial.
I'm an alien too.
For sure.
There it is. Give me some of that alien work. And you've never been abducted, but you're an alien. Have you abducted anyone else? Is there an alien game that you can spit to us? Is there alien language that you know? Okay, all right. Well, it's obvious you don't want to share any of
Yeah,
that.
that's it, man. I got it,
All righty.
Top shit.
Dragon Ball Z is
Now, I made a whole video on Chris Brown, and as you're gonna see, there's so much imagery all over when it comes from Chris Brown. And Chris Brown's been in the industry since a child. He's open. He's actually even said before that he's battling with the devil and all this. So Chris definitely has some issues going on in the industry, from what I'm seeing, and I'm constantly seeing this from him. I'm consistently seeing this on a regular basis. So the reason I wanted to talk about Chris Brown is because recently these performances have been going on so often. They're ramping up. The imagery before, you wouldn't rarely see this much imagery in a regular performance. But these performances, it's like they're spending the amount of money to make them so elaborate, to show off all this imagery all of a sudden. And I don't understand where all of this imagery came from when it comes from an artist like Chris Brown, because what does any of this has any relevancy to the music that he's singing? He's singing a bunch of love songs. So why does he have pyramids and all-seeing eyes and all this stuff in the background? That's one thing that I want to ask a lot of people. who are supporters of these artists, who just blindly support everything they do, they never really have an explanation on why are they showing all this type of imagery. Why are they doing all this? And why do they sing about, their problems with the devil and all this stuff? This is what they're doing. You understand? This is what Chris Brown is purposely putting out there for the world to see. Why else would Chris Brown put all this imagery behind there if he wouldn't want people to think he's a part of these people? It just doesn't make any sense. I want to see what you guys think about this. You guys have any questions about Chris Brown? Let me see them now in the chat, please. And exactly my point. Yeah, someone said alien or fallen angels, and that's exactly what I was going to go with. Aliens are anything that's not from this planet, right? That's basically what the definition of an alien is. So if you think about a demon is something that's, truly not from this planet. It's, a being of a different planet. But then when we look at what Crowley represented as aliens, what he drew as what an alien, not an alien, sorry, what he drew up, what the god was, which was basically a demon, Awis, he drew it as an alien. Taco, can you please see if you can put that up for me? Look up Awis by Aleister Crowley. He's going to bring it up now. You guys will see how Crowley actually drew the aliens, drew the fallen angels like aliens, like what we depict aliens now, like we're depicting aliens in movies, like we depict aliens in TV shows. The same depiction of aliens basically came back from that Aleister Crowley explanation. So every time that we're seeing these alien representations, they're not truly representing an alien from a different planet. They're representing an alien from Aleister Crowley, the alien that Aleister Crowley was referring to, which was Awis, which was the demon. Taco's working on getting that up here.
I feel like when they do these performances, it could be one or two things. Either another way to desensitize people and manipulate them, or to have them openly participate in a ritual that they are doing. Especially with the thing like the Sam Smith one with the whole circle going around them. And not just Sam Smith, there's several of these performances that go on where they're doing these things that are just like real far out of reach and super ritual-like.
I see a lot of this throughout this entire, a lot of imagery throughout most of Chris Brown's music videos. He depicts himself as a vampire. He depicts himself as this, creature of the night. And I've seen this from a lot of artists in the industry. But we have to remember that the industry works with blood magic. They believe that they're, in a way, vampires in a sense. Yeah, here's the picture of the alien that Crowley, that alien, the picture of the example that Crowley said the alien looked like. This is what Crowley said Awis looked like to him. This is how he explained it. And this is what Awis represented the fallen angels, right? The fallen angel that approached him and helped him write the book of the law. Tell me that doesn't look like an alien. To me, that looks like 100% an alien.
No, yeah, it definitely looks like our depiction of aliens now. Yeah.
Honestly, you can't sit there and look at that and say that is not an alien. You cannot sit there and tell me that is literally what an alien is depicted in every single movie. And Crowley spoke about this about 100 years ago now. You understand? So their definition, their example of an alien is coming from Crowley talking about a demon that approached him to write the book of the law. When they're referring to aliens, they're not referring to aliens. They're referring to this. They're referring to what Crowley spoke about. You understand? I want you guys to understand that. Now, a lot of people ask me why I don't believe in aliens. This is one of the main reasons right there. I saw this long ago, and once I saw this, every single alien movie and documentary that I have seen before, I just couldn't get this out of my head. The alien that they were depicting and drawing was a fallen angel, was a demon. So is it possible for people to be seeing demons? Of course. There's been people that reported sightings of demons for, hundreds of years. So when I look at Chris Brown referring to himself as an alien, he's referring to himself as an occultist. He's referring to himself as a demon, or maybe he's referring to himself as being demonically possessed or demonically influenced. Because he knows exactly what he's talking about. When they asked him if he was from another planet, he didn't say yes because he's not from another planet. You understand? Now, back to the whole vampire thing. He kept representing himself as a vampire. Why? Because of the blood magic. If we go back to Crowley, in Crowley's book of magic and Crowley's book of the law, he speaks about blood magic. A lot of occultists have full-on books on doing spells and rituals with blood magic. So this is what this whole entire imagery that we can see on countless Chris Brown videos, going back all the way to the beginning of his career. You can see videos of Chris Brown literally depicting himself as a vampire. Now, you guys have anything to add on to this before we move on?
Yeah, if you look at like his Black Pyramid clothing brand and go to his Instagram page, you'll see countless like photos of, imagery. It's crazy.
Yeah, all over his Black Pyramid. Like we saw, a lot of these artists though, and a lot of people don't even care about. Like, I don't understand how people can see that and not be concerned about all the imagery that's coming directly from these artists' clothing line. Like when we look at Chris Brown's clothing line, the Black Pyramid, when we look at Trippie Redd's merch, when we look at Playboy Cardi's merch, all these people, even Biggie, who was back in the day, a long time ago, Biggie's merch had 666 plastered all over it. That's not something that's coincidental. Drake's merch as well, with the 6 on it and the owl. It's all, people just wear this blindly. They buy it, they wear it blindly. They don't realize what they're putting on. And I'm not judging anyone that's wearing it or anyone that likes the way the sweater looks, because that's not the point, because most people don't know what these symbols represent. This is what we're here doing. We're trying to educate you guys and show you what these symbols represent and explain to you what these people are doing. But yeah, let's move on. Let's get on to the next topic. I actually want to talk about Ja Morant. I've been seeing a lot about Ja Morant all over, the media. He's been all over Instagram. He's been all over Google. There's so much articles about him. He's suspended now over what he's literally, his antics for the last few weeks. Ja Morant is a very interesting case to me because he just doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense. Any of the actions that he's been doing recently, it doesn't represent someone who's an NBA superstar. Someone who's an upcoming NBA superstar who his name is everywhere. People were speaking about him so positively beforehand, and then he just starts to act like this out of nowhere. I don't think this is a coincidence. The NBA knew he was the next superstar, and I think they've already approached him, and I think they've already got him. If we look at his actions, they're mimicking the actions of a rapper like NBA Youngboy. They're mimicking the actions of a rapper like Tekashi 6ix9ine. He's mimicking somebody that he's completely not. You understand? He's trying to be someone he's not. And usually that happens with young people, but it doesn't happen with an NBA superstar who has influence over millions of kids. And on top of this, who can lose his entire NBA career for doing those things. The first thing he did was he intimidated a player at a store. Not a player, sorry. He intimidated a person at a store, an employee at a store. Supposedly the mom had an issue with one of the employees at, I think it was a shoe store. She calls her son. Her son shows up with a bunch of his guys, and they press the dude and they start to intimidate him and all this. What is the point of an NBA superstar doing that? And how is this getting out? You understand? And then he goes, there's the incident with him and the teenager. The problem that he had with the teenager. That whole thing where the teenager, he said that Ja Morant attacked him and all this, and it led to Ja Morant. He even said that Ja Morant he had a piece on his waist. It's obvious that they have this Ja Morant kid playing a character. You get what I'm trying to say? It's NBA. What NBA star have you seen do this before? You just don't see this. And he's not going to do this himself because nobody's going to push it. Who would risk their position in the NBA to act like this? The last thing I think what got him suspended was the incident at the Gentlemen's Club. I think that's what it was, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I think what got him suspended was either that or the incident with the laser, where they said that he pointed a laser at a rival team member after a game, after they had an incident during the game. What basketball player acts this way? I want you guys to honestly tell me, does this make any sense? They're using him because this agenda, they know that basketball and hip hop go side and side. You understand? That's why we always see the rapper with the top NBA player. And like, if I'm not mistaken, Drake said it once that rappers want to be athletes, or want to be the athletes, and the athletes want to be the rappers. And it's true. You know, we see Drake on the court side all the time. He wants to be a basketball player just as bad as the John Morant wants to be NBA YoungBoy. These people envy each other's lifestyle because they have two different type of lifestyles. But I'm not going to be surprised, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on John Morant because I know the one eye symbolism is coming. I know the major lucrative deals are coming. I know all this is happening. You know, I spoke about a while back. I spoke about Kyrie Irving and all the symbolism he had and all the stuff that he was showing. He had the Masonic all-seeing eye. And we talked about LeBron James and all the Masonic symbolism he was showing and how they were all Masonic puppets. So what makes you guys think that John Morant, who's the next upcoming star, who's the one that they're all giving the attention to, is not going to be a part of the same system? He's already showing us that they're using him to manipulate. Basketball players do not act like this. It goes against their brand. When you look at basketball, the NBA, you look at it just like Disney. It's a family-friendly company. You understand? They don't want stuff like this. They want to be able to have that premium, you know, family-friendly image that all advertisers want to be a part of, and everybody's good to be behind. So they can't have stuff like this. But the thing is, they would have nipped this in the butt long ago. The first time it happened, the moment he started acting like this, they would have got him out of here. But they didn't. So it shows you immediately, it shows you off the top that they let this happen. It didn't end until now. Now is that they feel that they have to stop him or whatever, but it's not even that. Like he's suspended for a few games. This is what they wanted him for. How many kids you think are acting like John Morant now? How many kids that want to be in the NBA got this example from him? You understand? Exactly. And it doesn't make sense that people are supporting him. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like when they get to their peak of their career, like, or they get the most attention, that's when they do it. That's when they do the foul stuff, like Aiden Rose. They get to a peak and then they throw out the foul stuff. So once you get all the eyes on you, okay, go ahead. Now show everybody what you do.
Exactly. And I think that's when they come to them. You understand? When they start getting to that level, when they got all the success, that's when they come to them. That's when they're going to come approach them. And that's when they're going to tell them, you know, you want to make it to that next level? Because you got to understand, not every NBA star in the NBA is an occult. Is an occultist. But I definitely am telling you that the NBA is ran by occultists, by the Masons. Basketball was created by a Freemason, James Naismith. He's a Freemason man who created the sport of basketball. Shaq has been a Freemason. Michael Jordan, a Freemason. I think of Scottie Pippen, a Freemason. There's so many other players. Big stars. We're not talking about regular guys. Kobe Bryant showed open symbolism of being a Masonic puppet. And when we look at Kobe Bryant, we also saw that they predicted his passing. You understand? These players are just as in the industry as the music industry, as the artists in the music industry. This is all mainstream media. This is something that they know has full control over the people. Now, let's move on. The next thing I want to actually talk about is Trey Songz. Taco, can you roll the Trey Songz clip, please? Just give me 1 second. All right, yeah. So now let's get into the Trey Songz situation. This is interesting to me because we've been seeing this from so many different artists within the industry. It's getting crazy at this point. But it's interesting to me the most when I see it's artists like Trey Songz and R. Kelly, you know, like these artists that have these lover boy images, you know, like these almost like God on earth type of images that all the women want. You understand? So it's always interesting to me when I see that they get accused of R-wording people. You know, like this to me is always something that shocks me, but it shows exactly what these people in the industry are about. You know, there's about 5 women that are coming out now and accusing Trey Songz of basically R-wording them and doing a bunch of other stuff to them. And like I said, this is Trey Songz, someone that you would think women are throwing themselves at him. He would have no reason. You know, there should be no reason for that. If we remember, I spoke about it a while back. He had a situation with Keke Palmer, and Keke Palmer came out and tried to expose him, and nothing happened to him really. She said that she didn't want to be in a music video with him, and he forced her to be in the music video. She also said that he was, you know, kind of throwing himself at her, and she kept rejecting him, but he kept being pushy and stuff like that. And she didn't want nothing to do with it, you know, and she felt uncomfortable with him. And this is not just one person. The whole industry is uncomfortable with Trey Songz at this point. There's so many people, you know?
I think that's what it is. It's an ego thing. He thinks that he is so high and mighty that when he comes off towards a woman that she is just going to automatically throw herself at him. But when she tells him no and, you know, she dispropositions him, he gets angry. And that's why this thing takes place. It's an ego thing. He's not expecting to be told no because of who he is. So when he's told no by these women who are littler than him, he tends to take advantage. And what's really crazy is how nothing is happening to him. You would expect the first time he would be arrested, put away for this. But no, he pays them off. And it has continued to happen, not once, not twice, but multiple times.
Yeah, there's a woman named Dylan Gonzalez. She's supposedly she is an NBA player, women's NBA player. She accused Trey Songz of R-wording her. This is what she accused Trey Songz of doing. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a whole nother situation. It might be the same situation where they're suing him for millions of dollars. Him, Atlantic Records, and what's the other person's name? Kevin. What was his name?
Kevin Lyles.
I think it's Kevin Lyles, yeah. So she's suing Trey Songz, Atlantic Records, and I'm assuming that Atlantic Records, the reason she's suing them is because they had a part in it or they knew something that was going on. I don't know why they'd be lumping them in. But come on, guys. Like, you would think Trey Songz would not have to do this, but it's true what D says. What D is saying is what it is. These people are hungry for power. 100%.
These are all, everyone you mentioned, they're all big people. They're all celebrities as well. So you would think that more people would care. You would think that the law would take care of it, but they just brush it under the rug.
No, they're not going to take care. We saw what happened with R. Kelly, guys. This society is ran on people like that. R. Kelly was allowed to do that evil for 20 years before they said, all right, that's enough. Let's lock him up. He was able to hurt. You know how many lives R. Kelly came in contact with? You know how many people he affected for years and no one did nothing to him? They let him do his thing because why? He was making millions of dollars. He had the whole world wrapped around his finger. He was influencing so many people. You think that they're going to take that guy and bring him down when he's a money machine for them? When he's an influence machine for them? No way. It's the same thing with Trey Songz. Now they're going to come for Trey Songz. Trey Songz ain't got no protection no more.
Now they're going to come for Trey Songz. Trey Songz ain't got no protection no more.
Someone needs to mute up. I'm hearing myself double. Trey Songz is going to see is going to see the effects now of whatever he's going through because he's made it to the point. Taco, can you mute Showing Alliance? His mic is. All right, thank you. Trey Songz is now seeing the effects. Trey Songz is probably now going to start seeing, because who's listening to Trey Songz like that nowadays? You know, he's not as popular. He's not as relevant. He isn't in a place where people are truly interested in him. So now these allegations are going to start coming out. And now his defense, people, you know, the industry, like I said, the devil has loyalty to no one. He's going to use you until he doesn't need you no more. And Trey Songz, when he was on top, he couldn't take no for an answer. He thought because he felt like this God, that everyone should treat him like this God. And that's what the whole industry is about. Like what we're saying with Adam 22. Adam 22, you know, the whole thing with him is the underage stuff, right? The people that he shouldn't be around or shouldn't be interacting with. He's a man that has shown countless times that he can get women, and he has all these women coming in and out of his platform that he's able to interact with and do whatever he wants. But still, we see stuff like the underage stuff in his history, and potentially can still be going on because we don't know what he's doing in his private time. You understand? But we see all that going on, and that's something that he knows he can't do, something he shouldn't do. But it goes back to what D said. These guys want what they can't have. That's that one thing that all the money and the power couldn't get them. So they're going to try to, you know, they're going to force to have it because it's the only, you know, thing that they can actually go for and try to achieve, or, you know, use their power to show that they're more powerful than others. And it's sad because there's so many people in the industry that are being affected by this. We're only seeing it little by little. We only see a few people. Like there's the people that get taken out. Those people don't get to talk about it. You know, we never hear their story. We never know what's going on with them. For all we know, they could be out of the picture and their story's never told. And these people, like the woman was talking about Drake, Olivia Songs, if I'm not mistaken, that's what her name was. She was saying that these people are using these, you know, the people that are missing for ritual sacrifices and stuff. And we know that's a possibility because we know what the occult is into. If we go back to, you know, ancient times, occultists practice ritual magic and they practice ritual offerings and ritual sacrifices. That's what they did. They even ritually offered their firstborn. This is something that was done back then. And these people that are occultists practice the same stuff that they do. So what makes you think they're not doing it now? The only difference is that now they have to be more secretive about it. They got to make sure that they do nothing wrong, that they got to make sure that they don't expose themselves. And it goes on, like those secret parties. I did a whole video about Hollywood secret parties. If you watch that video, you've seen countless artists talk about the same party in different areas. It was the same party in different areas. You know, that's the most interesting thing to me. Every party you went to, it was the same party in a different area. Each person explained the same thing. Each room had his own little weird thing going on. Everybody was doing weird. You know, that's basically what the Hollywood parties were about. And what do you think is going on in these Hollywood parties? A bunch of activities like what Trey Songz is being accused of. A bunch of activities of what Adam 22 is being accused of. Speaking about Adam 22, you know, you guys are going to have to want to join the Discord for this because I'm not going to be able to post it here on live, but I did the video on Adam 22 and I'm pretty sure most of you have seen that video. If you haven't, definitely check it out after this one. But I did the video on Adam 22, and yesterday Taco hits me up and he starts sending me a bunch of stuff from Adam 22 that's even more disturbing, like a picture. This picture, we can't post none of it on here. You guys are going to have to go to the Discord so that you'll be able to see these pictures. But there's a picture of Adam 22 showing off someone that's very young. Let's just leave it at that. And then another picture of what seems to be Adam 22's list of girls that he liked to meet up with some very interesting ages and what they used to do for him and all this. And they're saying that this is his list that he posted somewhere, and this is his stuff, his photo. It is his photo because he's in the photo. So you guys definitely have to go to the Discord. We cannot show it here on YouTube, but definitely join the Discord. You guys can see it on there. Adam 22, I'm gonna pray for that man. I hope that he does not do anything of the stuff that he was mentioning in those tweets to any young person, because that is some sick stuff. I hope that that man gets some help. I hope that that man seeks God. And I hope that that man realizes what he is doing and what he's going to pay for, you know, in the afterlife. But, you know, let's move on. Next thing I want to talk about was actually Charleston White. I know a lot of you guys, you know, some of you guys, I don't know if it's a lot of you guys, some of you guys actually like Charleston White and appreciate Charleston White. but I wanted to see how much of you guys still like him and appreciate him after the recent incident that happened with him. You know, after the recent situation with him and Math Hoffa and him and China Mac. You know, that was disturbing. To me, at least, I saw that. And you guys, a lot of people saw it was a character. He's just playing a character. And I understand. I want you guys to understand, though. These rappers are also playing a character. And we see the negative that they're pushing with that character. We see the agenda, and we see how it's destroying people, right? It's basically the exact same thing with Charleston White. He's pushing an agenda. Even if he's doing it just as a character, he is still technically pushing an agenda. Now, the comments that he said about Math Hoffa and his daughter, I don't understand how any of that is acceptable, even if it's content, even if it's jokes. I think that's just taking it too far. I think that was very disrespectful. And the comments were basically him saying that he would R-word Math Hoffa's daughter, or that he wants someone to R-word his daughter, something in that sense. And it's basically the same exact thing he said about, you know, China Mac and his people in the Asian community. He said that exact same thing, that he wants their babies to be R-word and a bunch of what I actually was completely disturbed when I saw him engaging in that rant. It was all it was. It was a rant. I know that people, it's a character, but we cannot defend the most disturbing things a person says by just writing it off as he's just playing a character. We can't do that. It's just there's no reason for someone to be able to say things like that and hurt people like that and offend people like that, especially when it's not even something that they truly feel or they truly represent. You know, I respect his message without all the trolling. I don't think kids should be talking about drilling each other. I don't think no one should be talking about rapping about the destruction and the pain that these kids are going through in the streets. I don't think no one should be rapping about that. I agree with Charleston White on that point. And that's literally what I talk about on my platform all of the time. What I don't agree with is how he's telling people that he should, you know, the little kids should be R-word and this should happen to this person, and how he even likes to R-word women. He said this himself. These are things that you guys can say are jokes, but why would we're coming at Adam 22 for what he's calling dark humor and dark tweets, but we're not going to give the same energy and the same exact thing to Charleston White, he's saying is dark humor and just jokes. It doesn't make any sense to me. They're both doing the exact same thing. You know, they're both going way too far. If it's only jokes, way too far. And if it's something that represents their personality and who they really are, then why would anybody want to support a person that's openly talking about R-wording people just because on occasions he does community work, or on occasion he talks about the good and what we need to do? I agree with the good he's saying, and I would respect him 1,000,000% more if he dropped the act, if he just stopped attacking people and stopped saying the most wildest things ever and just focused on showing the good, showing the positive. Because at the end of the day, if you're showing only negative, if the only thing we're seeing Charleston White is for the negative, he's not showcasting anything else. We're not seeing him show the good or him talk in a good way. Most of the time, what he's going viral for is straight negativity, is straight hate and straight disrespectfulness. So if you're supposed to be someone who's so positive and so good, why aren't you showing us that? Why aren't you doing the same way you're going viral for the evil, go viral for the good? If you're doing it for a good purpose, let me see the good. Don't just talk about it, and don't just say that you do it in private. I understand. And even if you did do it in private, what matters is what you're doing in public, because the public is what's being influenced by it. You're influencing people to act like you. You're making people want to go and think that being you is acceptable, and it's not. You know, and like I said, he said he sold his soul to the devil. People thought that I'm speaking in a cult. No, I'm speaking in direct terms. He is literally admitting that he is compromising himself. He is lying about who he is just for clout, just to be relevant, just to be popular. And people are giving him that clout and giving him that popularity, you know? And like I said, I have no issues with Charleston White's message when it's not about hate, when it's not forget this person or I hate these people or these people should be this or that. It's unnecessary. But you know, if it's a positive message of helping the people, if it's a positive message of just stopping the negative influence of music, I'm 100% down with him. you know. But until then, I can't support someone who's saying so much negativity and so much destruction, you know. But now I want to answer some of you guys' questions. I want to see you guys' questions in the chat. Any questions you guys have of anything we spoke about today, or any questions in general that you guys want me to answer?
Hey, bro, I was also thinking like Charleston White is duality in a way. The way he portrays it all, he represents duality. And he also has one eye symbolism because he has one real eyeball.
Yeah, that's a good point. I definitely agree with you with the duality, because he is representing both sides, and people need to see that we can't just say, oh, we're only going to take the side that he does good, or we're only going to take. You have to take him for complete for what he is, and a whole, he is pushing a negative message. You know, he is pushing negativity. But yeah, let's move on and let's get into some questions. Does anybody have some questions? Person Trey says, "Do you think we're in the end times?" I think I answered this last live too. I don't necessarily know if we're in the end times, but we're definitely seeing signs of the end times. You understand? We're definitely seeing things that are concerning, but I'm not God, so I definitely can't say if we're in the end times or not.
With all the imagery being a lot more common and stuff, I think we kind of are. And there's also the whole Neuralink chip with Elon Musk too. That's going to be released this year.
Definitely, but I agree. Like, the signs seem like we're in the end of times and all this, but like I said, we as humans could never know. Only God knows. And we can try to say that we're reading the signs and we can try to act like we know what's going on. But in reality, like I said, only truly God knows. Only God knows when the end is coming. We can, we can read the signs, we can see what's going on, and we can prepare ourselves. And only wait, because it could happen tomorrow and it can happen in 20 lifetimes from now, for all we know. But definitely the people that are in charge are showing us that message, almost like they want to reset it. Like they're showing us that we're in the new world order for sure. That's how I feel. Like, when I see it, I feel like they're definitely showing us signs of that we're in the new world order.
And they destroyed the Georgia Guidestones, so that was pretty significant, right?
Yeah, the Georgia Guidestones situation. That I did a video about that a while back. The Georgia Guidestones displayed, the new world order right in the open. It showed the world what the new world order was about and how it took place and all this and what they were expecting for the world. So when I saw them that situation happened, I saw it as a sign, but not necessarily like the sign of the end times, but a sign of the entering of what they're ending our generation, our old ways, and starting a new. You understand? I saw it as almost like the beginning of the new world order. Yeah, it's very interesting when you look at the whole Georgia Guidestone situation, because it was sitting there for so long, and then they waited for such a pivoted moment where society was all changing and everything was going through what it was going through after 2020. So I know 1000% that had so much symbolic meaning. But like I said, I can't necessarily say that we're in the end times because of it, because at the end of the day, no man can actually predict the end times. We can read the signs though, and all we can do there is really pray and hope that we're in the right position and we're good with ourselves. And everybody, we got to also help those around us, because that's what the reason of this whole purpose of this channel is, to help those around us. All right, let me see some questions. Can people are asking for the Discord link? Can people link the Discord, please? Can the mods link the Discord? I see a question on what's my opinion on Martin Luther King Jr. Well, the other day I actually found some very interesting information, and I don't know if you guys want me to make a video on Martin Luther King Jr. If you guys want me to make a video, you can spam it in the chat. But I did find some interesting information with Martin Luther King Jr. and the Freemasons. So, that's something that if you guys are interested in, I'll make a full breakdown video, but it's not something that I want to talk here on live because I don't want to make any mistakes or, misquote or say any information incorrectly. But I can definitely look into Martin Luther King and make a full video. But what I saw already, it does show that there was a connection between Martin Luther King Jr. and Martin Luther King Sr. and the Freemasons. So if you guys want to see that video, let me know in the chat, and we'll definitely get that video out for you guys soon. Any more questions? Any more questions? I can't. There's a lot of them coming down, but I don't really see questions. I see a lot of comments. I see someone commented, do you think academics is pushing an agenda? Yeah, I've said it multiple times. I think academics is definitely being used to push the agenda, and the record labels, they use academics, to promote their artists and push them and make them to the levels of gods. The same thing that we see with Adam's platform. Adam's platform, they do the same. That's how, that's how they get the fans into the artists and make the fans worship the artists, because they prop them up to these levels. They make them, they literally get them to the level of gods. They show them off, and on these platforms, they get the fans interested about their lives and whatever they want to tell them. So, and even when you look at an academics' Instagram page, what do you see on academics' Instagram page? Is all about the artist. That's really what it is. He's a machine that promotes artists, and he's spoken about that he works directly for these record labels, and the record labels pay him, and he promotes exactly what the record labels tell him to promote. So he can say that he's not a part of the agenda if he wants, but how is he not a part of the agenda if the record label pays you and you post whatever the record label tells you? That proves to me that he's definitely directly tied to the agenda. Hugs, not drugs. Thank you for the donation. She said, if I can make a whole video on Tom McDonald, definitely I'll look into Tom McDonald, and I'll see what has to do with Tom McDonald. Tom McDonald, he's the one that played Spider-Man, correct? If I'm not mistaken, the recent Spider-Man movies. Is he? Oh, it's Tom McDonald, the rapper. I already made a video on him. Yeah. I completely confused him. I made a video on Tom McDonald in the past, but I can make a full video on him, and I can say how I feel about him now. The thing is with Tom McDonald, I don't really trust him very much because he kind of shows the same imagery as all the other artists, and on top of this is like, it seems more like a gimmick when it comes to him. It doesn't seem legit. It doesn't seem like he's really trying to expose anything, and it doesn't really, like, he's putting it in a song, and it just, I don't know. I can't buy into it, especially with all the tattoos, the upside down crosses, and all this other stuff, and the demonic eyes that he'd be doing in the music video. I just can't buy into him. Any other questions?
Hey, bro, they keep. Oh, sorry.
What was the question in Discord? Let me see it. I'm gonna go check right now. All right, go ahead. No, I'm not gonna answer that. I'm not equipped to answer a question like that. I haven't looked into the Muslim religion to be able to say something like that.
They kept spamming and asking you if any celebrities asked you to stop.
Well, celebrities haven't directly contacted me, but we saw like the whole Adam 22 situation when he commented and basically told me to take my video down, and Kanye West, his team, I spoke about this before, they did a copyright strike takedown, a manual one. So they themselves saw the video I did on the Donda event, and even though there was hundreds of videos using his clips from the Donda event, they only gave me a community strike and strike my video down while the rest of the videos remained up. So I remade the video, took all the clips out and reposted it. And the community strike went away after 3 months, thank God. But um Tupac, the person who took Tupac's last photo as well, he got community strike. He gave me a community strike and took down my video because he said that he took the last photo and I used the last photo in my video, which is strange. Like out of it was only 40,000 views on the video. So somehow out of the 40,000 people, he just happened to be one of those 40,000 people that saw the video and asked for a copyright takedown. And I think that's the only way that they could have done it. They could have just copyright take down the video because I'm operating under fair use, so it allows me to critique and talk about these people's content. But I guess in the photo it was a loop because he owned the photo, so he was able to take my video down and give me a copyright strike. It usually is like that. But has the artist directly contacted me? No, I don't think they're ever going to contact me because there's nothing that they're not going to want to talk to me. I show them all the facts. I bring out all their lyrics. I bring out all their photos, all their imagery that they're showing. So there's nothing that they would want to tell me because, what are they going to say?
Yeah, true that.
Any more questions? If not, we're going to end this live shortly. Go ahead, Sheep, finish, and then I'll go into what Taco said.
Trey Songz was doing, and his Ti and his wife,
Oh
and
yeah, Ti
yeah,
and
yeah,
Tiny.
they've been doing it for years. We're like they do things to women, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I've heard about it. It's the Ti and Tiny situation. I actually should make a full video on that so I can get in, to Ti because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of symbolism coming from Ti as well. Ti has been in the industry for a long time. He's been in Hollywood. He's done movies. He's done, he's changed his brand.
doesn't really show a lot of symbolism, but I can really tell, given his status and the amount of features he's been a part of in music, that kind of gives him the position.
1 second. Let me respond to Kimberly. Thanks, Kimberly Barnes, for the $2 donation. I appreciate it. You said I'm on your Patreon. Should I join Discord instead? Patreon and Discord are two different things. Patreon is for exclusive videos that I can't make for YouTube because of the context. So it's separate videos on there. But Discord is just like for the community to talk with, and it's free. You don't have to pay for Discord. It's just you go in there and you can chat with the community, be a part of these live events, and eventually get into the panel of those that are talking with us. So if you wanna you can also join the Discord for free. It's completely free. If you guys need any help with joining the Discord, just the mods could explain it to you. The mods would explain it to you in here in the chat. They'll tell you how to join. You guys can join it, and we can you can join the Truth community. There's already 1,000 people in there, or 900 people in there, and they chat all day. We sometimes be in the chat as well. We also announce live events and upcoming videos. So if you're not in our Discord yet, you should definitely join the Discord now. And what was the question about Draco the Ruler? Draco the Ruler, that the situation with him. I never looked in too deep into him. I know that he was a part of the Empire Artists, if I'm not mistaken. He's one of the Empire Artists. Can you double check for me? This person, while you read that, this person, I want to thank I Want More Cash for the $5 donation. He writes, can you reply to the message with me and Taco? I've been trying to get a hold of you, but you're not replying. If you message me through Instagram, I'm not gonna be able to see it because there's too many DMs, and I have to like basically go through all the DMs. But if you send it to me through Discord, yeah, I'll get to you when I can on Discord. I've been a little bit busy in the last few days working on content. Yeah, D just confirmed for me that he was an Empire artist, and we saw the whole situation with Empire. I did a whole video on Empire artists, and it was strange that so many Empire artists have, passed. So many of them, and he just happened to be one of them. And if I'm not mistaken, he had just recently signed to them. So, yeah, and there, a lot of people say that Empire isn't a record label. That is not true. It is not a traditional record label. It's it's a distribution deal, but what they do is the exact same thing that a regular record label does. And they still profit from the artist just like a regular record label does. And they also take a percentage. They just take a less percentage because a record label is going to traditionally do more work. But nowadays, what these distribution companies do is basically the same exact thing. It just sounds better, And Draco the Ruler, if you guys want me to look into him, I will. But I definitely think it's strange that right after he signs, just like the other artists, right after they sign, he joined the Empire list, just like Young Dolph, just like Triple X Tentacion. And it's funny because when we look at that whole Empire situation, Triple X Tentacion was talking about how he wasn't gonna live past 21, I think he said, or he wasn't gonna pass 21, something like that. Same thing like what's his name? Juice WRLD said. But when it comes to these artists signing the label and the label, and the artist passing, that the label's making a ton of money. That's what we know for sure. Like, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. That's the first thing I realized. I know for a fact that the label is collecting a bag off of it,
Someone wants you to make a video on Selena Gomez.
Yeah, if you guys want to see a video on Selena Gomez, let me see, expand the chat, and I can definitely make that happen. Selena, not Selena Gomez. Selena. Okay, that works as well. So, I thought he said Selena Gomez. Let me answer this one. Thank you, Meme YS, for the $2 donation. I appreciate it. His question is, can you make a video about Romeo Santos? Definitely. I don't know if that many people would be interested in a video about Romeo Santos, but he has some questionable lyrics as well. If I'm not mistaken, he admitted to selling his soul in one of his songs a long time ago, but I can definitely make a video about that for sure. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? I see a lot of you guys spamming Selena Gomez. If you guys want Selena Gomez, we'll look into Selena Gomez because she's definitely been in the industry for her entire life, if I'm not mistaken, since her childhood.
She started in Barney when she was 5.
Repeat what you said, sorry?
She started in Barney when she was like 5 or 6. But yeah, she's been in the industry since then.
That's the same thing we saw with Britney Spears.
And Disney.
Think about it. And she was a part of Disney too. And that's the same thing we saw with Britney Spears. By the time, and it's surprising because she doesn't look like she's having any breakdown or anything. That's very interesting to think. Let me see any more questions here. Someone said if I can make a video on the Oscars, please. Of course. I think I made one last year, but I didn't really see the Oscars this year, so I have to check it out to see for sure. Let me see. Any questions? A lot of guys are just requesting videos. Before. This person asks, should I buy from Nike even though they're owned by Freemasons? Well, honestly, in this world, almost everything is owned by Freemasons. So God is not going to judge us for buying the things that we need to survive. We need food, we need clothes. So I definitely think it's okay that you purchase clothes. You understand? there's nothing wrong with you purchasing clothes. It's not like you're trying to support any of the bad things they're doing. You're just trying to buy clothes. So you're definitely fine on buying clothes. Yep. Oh yeah, if you guys want to suggest any videos, go over to the Discord. There's a video suggestion tab, and every day, whenever I have a couple minutes to myself, I go check that and I see if there's any of those videos that I should make. I can't pronounce this person's name. Noxical. Thank you for the $2 donation. Make a video on Bruno Mars, and I was already working on one. It's halfway written, so it's definitely gonna get done. And then I got Epic 8 Hack. Thank you for the $20 donation. This person says, I came across several websites that said Billie Eilish was responsible for Triple X Tentacion. Were you aware of this? I've never heard of that before. But if you want to suggest it over at the Discord and in the suggested videos, I would be interested in checking it out. I will say this though. Billie Eilish, very, very interesting person. I did a video about her a long time ago, and she sold a lot of imagery, and a lot of concerning imagery, a lot of imagery of her being sold to the industry. And then when you hear stories about her being made in vitro and, you know, the way her family treats her and stuff like that, you start to feel like sort of bad for her. Like I'm not gonna lie, her story is the same as Britney Spears and all of them, but you never really see the amount of imagery coming from Britney Spears and coming from the rest of them. If we look at Billie Eilish's music videos, one of the music videos where she's got like she's fallen from the sky like a fallen angel. She lands on Earth, and she has all this black goo, and her eyes are all black. She's looking all demonic. You know, very revealing information. I want to thank Married for Life for the $10 donation. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, but definitely, I maybe should remake the Billie Eilish video. Do you guys want me to remake that video? That video, I think I made it almost 2 years ago. It's one of my oldest videos. You know, it's very interesting. When you think about these young artists, especially her, who was kind of like they said, they made her for the industry.
She actually just had a small acting role in a show called Swarm, where she played like a cult leader of a sisterhood.
And that was a show, you said?
Yeah, it's a show on Amazon Prime called Swarm.
That's very interesting. We're gonna have to check that out when we get a second. But yeah, if you guys want to see me redo a Billie Eilish video, let me know below.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Any more questions, guys? Let's see some questions. I want to see some interesting questions that you guys want to see, that you guys want to answer. You know, one of the questions that I see a lot is about my logo. I see that one often. People ask, why do I have the all-seeing eye? Yeah, on my second channel, I actually explained this whole thing. If you go to my second channel, you guys can see I made a video basically doing this, but it wasn't a live stream. I just responded to you guys' questions. And somebody already had asked about this logo. And the logo just represents what my brand represents. We represent the truth. Like on the right side, we have the all-seeing eye, which is the devil, which is, you know, evil. And then on the left side, we have the cross, which people use to represent good and God. Every single day, we have the decision to either do the good thing or the bad thing. And that's basically what life is, if you think about it. It's about your decisions and what you make. I'm the brain. I'm in the middle. I am providing you that information so that you could either choose to go to the left or the right. And I'm hoping that you choose the left. You choose, you know, God. If you want, you know, to do what you do with your life, I'm not going to judge you. If you hear all this information and you don't want to, you know, change your ways or just continue to indulge in what the industry offers, I'm not judging you. But at least now you know. Now you're not being tricked. Now you know what's going on. Now you know what they put in front of you. Now you know why they're doing it. You know, it's just to show what the channel represents. And at least now 1,515 people, when people bring this up, you guys can explain to them what the symbol represents and what the logo represents. But you guys all know that I'm for God. I will do everything. You know, my whole platform is just to help push God's message out there and to push positivity and help people see the truth. That's what my whole platform is about. There was people telling me to remove the symbol off the logo, but the thing is that this is what it represents. We're showing people both sides, and we're letting people choose the truth now. Like they have the option of seeing the truth. You understand? I got a question from Married for Life. This question said, my question is, are you able to talk about the food industry and the manipulation of our food? I have purchased a pineapple and has been a week. It has not ripened, nor does it smell or have any of or any fruit at all. Yeah, look, food right now, I actually launched on the Discord server a food channel where I'm going to be talking about the food you guys should eat, what you guys should stay away from. And I want to make more content on food because I 100% need to advise you guys. There's certain foods that you should not eat, and it's most of it that's out there right now. Like, for example, I'll start with the oils. Try to avoid all vegetable oils. That's peanut oil, that's canola oil, vegetable oil, that's pea oil, any oil that's not unrefined organic coconut oil or unrefined organic avocado oil. Just do not consume it. I'm telling you this for your safety. Is the canola oil is known to cause inflammation, cancer, a bunch of other problems, and there's studies that are saying that it's actually worse to eat canola oil than to smoke cigarettes. So it's actually worse to eat vegetable oils than it is to smoke cigarettes. So I would advise you guys to definitely stay away from any of those oils. And it's hard because a lot of the food that's outside, like if you're going to go out eat in a restaurant, chances are you're going to be eating those bad oils. And check your foods for additive. Don't just buy food and start eating it. That's what they want. That's what they're expecting you to do. They don't want you to look at your food. They don't want you to see what's in the nutrition facts. Turn it around and check that nutrition label. Make sure you're seeing that it doesn't contain 1,000 grams of sugar, and it doesn't have a bunch of sodium, and it doesn't have a bunch of additives, hazardous additives that is terrible for your health. You know, make sure that you're definitely checking your food. Make sure that you're definitely being knowledgeable about what you're consuming. And like I said, oil, just like we were going hard on cigarettes, we got to go hard on oil. Stay away from cigarettes and oil. They're both bad for you. Only coconut and only avocado oil. If you guys go to Whole Foods, not saying that Whole Foods is a good option, because Whole Foods has a bunch of terrible food as well. You still have to have your eyes open, but they do have a few options where you can go at Whole Foods and you can buy some snacks. Like, you know, there's people that like snacks. If you want snacks, there's snacks made in avocado oil. Do you remember what's the brand name, D? Siesta, I think it is, or?
Yes, Siesta.
Yeah, there's a brand named Siesta. They may fry all their stuff in avocado oil, and that stuff is good for you. You understand? You can definitely check that out. Let me answer this question here. I cannot read that name either. That's something Shifter. I'm sorry. I appreciate
the Shifter.
VA the Shifter. I appreciate the donation, the $2 donation. What do I think about Narward? Narward is interesting for sure, because Narward, he knows so much about the industry, and he's been a part of the industry for so long that there's no way that he's not a part of the industry, you know? And like, I think I only saw him break character once, but I would have to look into him and see if there's any imagery behind him, because he's definitely royalty within, you know, the music industry culture.
Yeah, he's super interesting. Very weird too.
Yeah, his whole character is very weird. But like, it's good to, when he talks, you know, he says a lot about these artists. So you know, if you're ever doing like research on them, you can go watch a video and you'll find some interesting information. But that's really all about it. It's more to praise these artists. That's the same method that we see academics do and all this. And like I'm saying, I'm not telling you guys what to do and what not to do. If you guys want to consume these artists' music, go right ahead. But at least now you know what agenda is being pushed in your face, and you know what they're trying to, you know, manipulate you with. I'm looking for questions. Any questions? Video as suggestions. I see can you do a video on Master P? I'll look into Master P, but If you can definitely put your video suggestions on Discord in the video suggestion, so I'll be able to remember all you guys' suggestions. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, all the suggestions I'm most likely gonna forget some of them by the end of the live. Somebody asked what happened to the Capital Steez video. I covered Capital Steez for sure. I didn't make a whole video, I think, on him. I put him a part of another video, but I definitely covered Capital Steez. 100%. I'm gonna be answering questions, and you guys can spam some topics that you want me to talk about. I'm gonna be answering questions, and we're gonna be here until 3 o'clock. I think I explained that as well. It was the prayer cover art was not made by anybody on our team. We paid somebody on Fiverr, I think it was, to make us a cover art because I had finished the song and all that. Everything was ready to get put out, and nobody gave me any art cover for it at all. And last minute, when I was uploading the song, it said that for me to upload cover art, and I was like, "What the hell? I don't have no cover art." So I went and I reached out to my engineer, and my engineer told me that to use Fiverr to get someone to make the cover art. So I just used Fiverr, and that's what they sent me, and they did it in 2 hours. So I didn't really have much of a chance to like get back at him and have him remake it because it would have missed my deadline. So I definitely just took it as it is. But next cover art, I know that he didn't do it with any mal reason because he doesn't know who I am or he doesn't know my brand or nothing. This is just someone that we reached out to in Fiverr, and we really didn't give him any information. We just told him to listen to the song and make a cover art, and that's what he came up with. But definitely the next time we do the cover art, if some of you guys that are artists want to do our cover arts, I'm down. Send us some cover arts for that you guys have made, and we'll use you for the next projects that are coming out. Once again, Epic Hack, I want to thank you again for the $20 donation. He has a question. His question is, you think the passing of Taylor Hawkins from Foo Fighters could have possibly been an Illuminati sacrifice the same way with Kurt Cobain? I'm not too familiar with Taylor Hawkins. Let me give me 1 second. Let me see if I remember who he is, if I can do a little. Yeah, he's a drummer, I see. Yeah, I would definitely. I see. I can't really. It'll take me some time to be able to give you that answer for sure, but I'm gonna look into him. And Epic 8 Hack. Make sure you join the Discord. This way, I'll either make a short video for you and send it over so you can be able to see it on exposing him, or if I can make a whole video, I'll post it up on the channel. Anybody else has any questions or anything, any subject you guys want me to talk on? This person says, what did I think about Mr. Beast? Well, I don't have any real problems with Mr. Beast yet. I haven't really seen him do anything. I like, all I really hear about him doing is giving money. I don't watch his content, so I'm not really up to date on him or much about him really. But if you guys think I should look into Mr. Beast, you guys can let me know, and I'll start my research if there's a reason, because I know that he's one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform, and I know that a lot of people are consuming his content and are being influenced by him. And I think I've even heard my son watching one of his videos on YouTube, and I didn't really think much of it because it was just like, it sounded like a kid show. Like, it sounded like something that wasn't harmful, and I paid attention for a few seconds, and he just seemed to be doing like a game show. But if you guys think I should look into Mr. Beast, I will definitely do that. I would see, especially since I've seen my son looking into his content or looking at his content. So if you guys want me to look into it, let me know for sure. This person asked a good question. 1 second. He said, this person asked, do you think Jerry Heller took out Eazy-E Do you think Jerry Heller took out Eazy-E? Yep. Well, I don't think it was Jerry Heller. I think it was Suge Knight, in my opinion. I think Suge Knight definitely has something to do with it. It was like the same thing with Drake. Suge Knight was throwing shots and making it appear like he was the one that had something to do with it, you know? So in that situation, I think that it wasn't necessarily Jerry Heller, but I felt like it was Suge Knight for sure. And definitely, he was definitely, in my opinion, taken out. Like if we listen to the whole situation on what happened to him, it's just, come on. Like he went one day to the next from being a healthy man to being someone that passed within weeks from that, you know? And now we know more about AIDS and the disease and how it works and all that. So it just doesn't add up, you know? It's not adding up to me at all. One of you guys had a question before I cut you off?
I was gonna say that I did heard about Mr. Beast supporting the Neuralink chip that Elon made and how it's something cool and stuff. So that's kind of suspicious.
Yeah, like that is suspicious. 1000%. I agree with you. I'll definitely have to look into it because, you know, I don't think all AI is bad. I don't think all, you know, I think the chip is terrible, obviously, but you know, we've been using AI for a long time. So if it was just Elon Musk just saying that, you know, he uses AI for his phone or whatever, because technically speaking, all our phones have AI and all that. But when I speak about people like Elon Musk, the chip and AI and all that, it's the obvious agenda that they're doing with it. Because whenever I hear about the whole AI story and, you know, the situations with that, I feel like someone has to program that to do the things that it does. But we'll talk about that in another video so I can actually be able to go into detail and all that. But let's see, anybody has any more questions or any more topics? I actually want to engage until the rest of this live is over. I want to engage with you guys and answer what you guys any questions you guys have or anything that you guys want me to look into. Proud Mama. Let me thank you for the $5 donation. I'm so sorry that wasn't us. We explained a few times already that somebody was impersonating us in the comments. And what happens is, if they respond to your comment, YouTube, for some weird reason, they send you an email saying that that someone responded to your comment, and it'll show the truth is, but it doesn't show my channel. It says the truth is Telegram me, blah 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 blah. That is a scammer. He's impersonating me in the comments. He's been every time somebody comments and some of my videos, he'll come and he'll respond to the comment, say you want a prize, and to Telegram him. Do not Telegram him. We're not hosting a giveaway right now. We do not have Telegram. Whenever you see this, report that person's account. I have tried so many times. I don't know what he's doing now, because for some reason his messages won't show up on my end. It'll show that he sent out a message, but it won't show the message to me, so I can't remove him from the platform. But if you guys see if you guys actually see the message responding to you guys, click it, hit report, say it's spam, and get it off the platform so you can help, because there's already been so many people that have fought for this, and I feel terrible every time I see people bring it up, because there's nothing else really I can do unless I literally say it in the beginning of every single video. But that kind of kills, you know, the video, and it doesn't really help. So definitely you guys be aware, there's about 1,400 of you in here right now. If you guys see that person commenting at any moment talking about the Telegram scam, please make sure it's happening across of everybody's platform. So not just on the Truth Is, it's happening on other platforms as well. So if you see them, make sure that you report that profile or that account and get them off the platform and help some other people before they have the same problem. Oh yeah, definitely. We don't. You guys gotta make sure that when we do a giveaway, we're never gonna ask you guys for anything. We're not gonna say you guys got to give us any money or anything for us to send you a prize. So right there, when you see that's another red flag as well. I want to answer this question here by Justin Delphin. ODB said FBI and CIA took out Tupac, Biggie, and thoughts of the rapper Logic. Elon is trying to make towns that you can't leave. Thoughts? That's a lot of thoughts in one little question. I looked into ODB and he's definitely interesting. You guys can expect a video about ODB. I'm not gonna get into that question on here right now, but you guys could 1000% expect an ODB video and actually a whole Wu-Tang video, because I've seen a lot of Masonic imagery coming from RZA and the whole Wu-Tang clan. So I'm definitely gonna make a video on that. You can expect that. You said Logic. I never really thought much about Logic. He's kind of like one of those artists that, you know, he's in the industry, but he's not the biggest. So I never really gave him that much energy and time. But I would say that if he's rapping about the same thing that the other rappers are rapping about, and he's got the record deal and he's up there, then he's most likely the same thing, a Masonic puppet. Now, do I have the evidence to prove that? I haven't looked into him like that to be able to do so. So I'm not going to label him that yet. And that Elon is trying to make towns that you can't leave. I haven't even heard of that. That's crazy. I definitely got to look into that. That's very interesting. Sounds like a horror movie. Any more questions? Any more questions? We're here for the next 11 minutes. This person, I think I answered this question last video too, Eneli Chapa. I already spoke about, I felt like he's kind of like a bit of a scam artist, but we can talk about that in a later time. Let's see, any other questions? This person asked, what do I think about the education system and how the education system programs us? That's a great question. And me and Taco, we're actually going to make a Patreon exclusive because we don't want no problems with YouTube on here. So we're not going to talk about anything regarding that here. But we definitely going to make a Patreon exclusive on the education system and what we believe they actually are teaching the people. You know, it's a very interesting thing, especially when you see that a lot of the history we were taught is actually Masonic history. Like the way that they label these people, the way that they give the highest love and praise to the biggest to certain politicians and certain revolutionaries. It's all done for a reason. It's a Masonic world, and they're bigging up their Masonic puppets, you know? I see someone spamming Martin Lawrence. There was actually something interesting that happened on Martin Lawrence. Do you guys want to see a video on Martin Lawrence? He actually I think he did some exposing the industry as well before he disappeared, and then he came back for the Bad Boy series. I think Martin Lawrence would actually be a very interesting video because if I'm not mistaken, he also exposed the industry. Yeah, who's that? Is that Sean Alliance? Oh, what's up, brother? Yeah. Definitely I agree with you 100%. He shows a lot of interesting imagery, and I can't look into not imagery. He shows a lot of interesting signs because of the whole him disappearing and the whole, like, we've seen, it's like a rinse and repeat. We saw it with what's his name? It's slipping my mind. The comedian, the really big comedian, Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, Dave Chappelle. We saw
Yeah, Dave Chappelle switched up. Like his facial features switched up. Like it just like, I don't know, just weird stuff.
I think Dave Chappelle's back on their side, 1000%. I think the whole incident that happened with the person ran up on him on stage and all that. I think that was all staged. I think all of that is part of the image. Because look, when we look at, I actually spoke about him in one of my videos. I don't remember which one it was, I think it was one of them exposing the industry, but Dave Chappelle was one of them that he went on the Oprah show. He spoke about it. He spoke about he spoke about why he left the industry. He spoke about everything that what they were trying to make him do within the industry. You understand? And hold on, sorry.
And
Yeah.
that, have you
All right,
that
go ahead.
SNL clip? You seen that SNL clip?
With Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Was he wearing a dress?
Nah, it was Darnell Rollins. He was wearing a dress. He looked like he was wearing a dress. It just wasn't masculine. It just,
I didn't see that. I gotta check that out. But
I made a little video on it, but go ahead.
All right, you can send that to me. I'll check that out after this. But when it comes to Dave Chappelle, he said that they wanted him to wear dresses and they were trying to control him and all that, so he ran away. He literally dipped it. He disappeared. That shows exactly what they were, and that shows exactly what they were trying to do to him. And then on top of it, it shows that all the rest of these comedians and all the rest of these celebrities, when they're wearing these dresses, it's not something that they want to do. Most likely, they're doing it because of that paycheck. They're doing it because they're being instructed to do it. And that's the same thing we see from someone like Martin Lawrence, who came to the point where he didn't want to deal with the industry no more. I think they made him wear a dress too, if I'm not mistaken.
Tyler Perry he got his own city because he's known for being in the dress. So.
Yeah, no, his entire agenda was that. That's what he was doing the entire time he's been in Hollywood. And there's nothing I can really say about that here, but we know what agenda is being pushed with that. And we know that, like I said, Dave Chappelle for sure crossed back. When he left and came back, he didn't show up in the industry right away. He started to explain himself, but then I guess the pressure hit him, the money probably got tight on him, or the fact that he wasn't famous no more, he was becoming irrelevant. I think that's when he decided, you know what? It's time I play ball again. And that's what he did. Any more questions? Let's see any more questions. We got 5 minutes left, guys, to answer you guys' questions. And then before that, I want to also tell you guys, we're planning on doing this every single Sunday at 1:00 Eastern. So if you guys like this live event and you guys are digging it, and if you guys have any suggestions for what we should do in the next one and how we can make it better, we're listening to suggestions. That's why in the first half we had all the clips playing, because I saw a lot of you guys requesting that there'd be clips and stuff. So we're trying to make it better, but we're definitely trying to make this a every Sunday thing. And I want to see you guys here every Sunday, and we could make this more interactive. You guys also we need more questions and less suggestions. The suggestions can definitely go on Discord, because I want all the suggestions, but I want to see good thought-provoking questions, things that you guys want me to talk about, and I'm gonna definitely get into it. And I'll add an extra 2 minutes, because I know I just killed 2 minutes of. So, actually, not even 1 minute. So, I saw the UFC spammed a bunch of times. We can definitely look into the UFC, but just like boxing and most all sports, they're just used as a method of distraction. Now, I don't want people to confuse me when I say that. Confuse what I'm saying by this. I'm not saying that playing sports is bad, because I enjoy playing basketball. It's a fun way to get exercise and have a good time. What I don't think that people should do is let these sports consume them and let these sports dictate their lives and control them, because that's when we see a lot of people, devote way too much time into sports, and they actually start seeing these basketball players and these football players like gods, So I definitely would recommend you guys to play sports, have fun, go outside, play basketball, football, whatever you want to play. What I don't recommend you do is go home and worship these celebrities and worship these athletes. If you want to watch a game, watch the game, but just don't let it consume you,
Oh yeah. Have you heard about Uzi talking about as some people are thinking, making a collab album with Cardi, and it shows a revealing image about I don't know, some kind of demon, and he typed Uzi themselves and Cardi as some kind of children next to the demon, and there's an inverted cross emoji like at the bottom, and it says we're gonna take over the world.
And that's an image.
Yeah, it's on academics page.
Yeah, it's some dark tweets exposed.
Can you put it on the Discord so I can check it out later? I gotta definitely see that. I haven't seen it. I've been working on videos and getting prepared for this live stream that I haven't really been looking through and seeing much of anything. So if you guys, if you definitely want to link it in Discord, I can check it out later. But that's
some dark tweets. I just added you.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna definitely check it out for sure. Any more questions before we end today? How do you feel about the talks of the Anunnaki? I feel like the Anunnaki theory is just fallen angels. I think I've said this before. I think when they're referring to the Anunnakis, it goes back to like that picture that we had of Aleister Crowley drawing what he thought a demon was, and it looked exactly like what an alien is. So if you guys, if you see that picture and you guys tell me that that's not what we depict aliens are as nowadays, and I don't know what to tell you, but I feel like anything that's us referring to these aliens or extraterrestrials or whatever you want to call it, I feel like it's just another method of saying that those, we're being visited by demons. And in reality, if we look at the Bible says that there's demons on earth, demons that are trying to manipulate and destroy. So, I see the Anunnakis as the fallen ones that came down with Lucifer and completely influenced the world from that moment on. Do you have any more questions before we go? Last minute of the stream.
Yeah, another thing is Lil TJ, trying to still represent gangster, had that gangster image after being shot 7 times.
Yeah, the little TJ situation is
it's crazy.
But it's just that this is what these artists are into. This is what they do. This is what they got paid for, and I think Lil TJ is scared that if he switches his music up, it's over for him. They're no longer gonna mess with him. They're no longer gonna listen to his music, and it's a possibility that it could happen. But let's be honest, though. If his fans are really his fans, they're gonna listen to it regardlessly. You get my point? So it's just that he wants to stay trendy. He wants to stay hip, and he's one of the younger artists. So that drill movement scene, that whole rowdy music and all that, that's really what's making money, and that's what's really helping pushing these kids, and it's what's getting them to the next level in their career. It's the gangster rap era all over again, and we're seeing all these drill rappers falling down and one by one. Let me thank Names for the $20 donation. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Well, we're gonna end this one here, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for showing up. You guys are the best. I love you all. Remember, next Sunday, the same time, 1 p.m. I want you guys to send me on Instagram. Well, Instagram, probably just join the Discord. That'll be the best option. All you guys join the Discord. We're going to make a channel for live events that's going to say live event topics. And there you guys can put live event topics for next Sunday. I want you guys to spam that with me with topics so that next week we can have a great event like this one. Let me know what you guys felt about the live today in the bottom. All right. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Goodbye, everybody.